Austin police officer involved shooting behind us at the 900 block of the Circle K. Basically, it's still an active investigation with the Rangers behind us. It's ongoing. At this time, the chief has more details, but it is a Ranger investigation, and we are leading it with the assistance of the PD.
All right, thank you. My name is Joseph Chacon, Joseph Chacon. I'm the Austin Police Department Chief. Also standing here, we have Sylvia Hardman, who's the Director of the Office of Police Oversight, Basil Ali from our City of Austin legal team. I have other members, including our Chief of Staff and other members of the Executive and Command team with APD, as well as the DPS Sergeant. I want to provide you some information related to this officer-involved shooting because there are Austin police officers that are involved. The information I'm going to start by saying is preliminary at this point, so please keep that in mind, and there is limited information that I can release, and so we will not be taking any questions following this briefing, okay? So again, as the Sergeant mentioned, due to the location of this being in Round Rock in Williamson County, this is not an Austin Police Department investigation. It is being led by the Texas DPS Rangers with assistance from the Round Rock Police Department. So Austin Police are not involved in this investigation. This incident began as a Department of Public Safety initiated warrant service for an individual with multiple felony warrants. Some of them involved weapons charges. DPS notified APD asking for assistance with surveillance so that we would be able to get this individual into custody as safely as possible. At approximately 2:42 p.m. this afternoon, surveillance began in the area, and this continued for several hours. After some time, the suspect and the vehicle that he was driving were observed in an apartment complex, and as that vehicle was driving out of the apartment complex, DPS used tire deflation devices to flatten the suspect's tires in an attempt to disable the vehicle. The vehicle, however, continued to leave the scene and was driving on flat tires, continued for some distance, and then after a time, one of the wheels fell off, at which time the vehicle had to pull into the parking lot of the convenience store you see located behind me at the intersection of Lewis Henna Boulevard and the frontage road of IH-45 in Round Rock. That happened at approximately 6:30 p.m. At that point, APD continued to monitor the progress of the vehicle, but did not approach the vehicle. And I want to be clear, there was no pursuit. They simply monitored the vehicle as it continued to drive on the flat tires. Approximately 2 minutes later, at 6:32 p.m., DPS arrived in a marked unit and pulled near the suspect vehicle. As the trooper driving that vehicle exited the vehicle, the suspect began firing from the inside of his vehicle at the trooper. APD was nearby in the surveillance vehicle, and those officers exited the vehicle, and the DPS trooper and the APD officers returned fire on the suspect. The suspect was injured, and after a few moments was taken into custody. Life-saving measures at that point were applied. He was then transported to a local hospital, and he remains in critical condition. No officers or the troopers were injured in this incident. There are multiple sources of video on this, including body-worn camera video and video from the Austin Police Department helicopter Air 1. As was previously mentioned, the DPS Texas Rangers are the lead investigative agency, and ultimately this case will be referred to the Williamson County District Attorney's Office for review. APD will conduct its normal administrative investigation into this. There are members of the Internal Affairs Division on scene, And as I mentioned earlier, the Office of Police Oversight is here and will be overseeing that administrative investigation. On the APD side, I mentioned there were both APD officers and a DPS trooper. There are a total of 5 law enforcement officers that are involved in this critical incident, 4 of them being APD and 1 DPS trooper. The 4 APD officers, 1 has 2 years of experience on the department, 2 of them have 6 years of tenure, and the final one has 10 years on the department. All officers will be placed on administrative leave pending this investigation, as is our normal protocol. The suspect involved is a 41-year-old black male, and as I mentioned, he is at a local hospital being treated. I do want to talk a little bit about the normal protocol for the Austin Police Department in releasing critical incident video within 10 working days of the incident. This incident occurred outside the jurisdiction of the Austin Police Department, and therefore, working with the local authority here, which is the Williamson County District Attorney's Office, I have been in contact with District Attorney Sean Dick, and working in cooperation with that office, we will not be releasing the video on our normal timeline. We are going to respect their request to hold off on that, being so early in the investigation, and this being their protocols. We will respect that, and when it's appropriate and with their approval, the video will be released at a later date. Therefore, no critical incident briefing will occur within that normal 10-day time frame. Again, that's all the information that we have at this point, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
I know you said no questions, but was it this convenience store right here at the gas station?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank y'all.